Journey. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Walking the Path. So grateful to have you here today. I'm so grateful to be here today. And I'm at Rythmia. Woohoo! Boy, it is gorgeous outside, sunny. It's been a little rainy, so now it's sunny. Everything is so green. Life is bursting forth as it is in all of us right now. Life is us. We're life. We are life. We're life itself. All of life. How good it is. How good it is to be here, to be right here, right now. Right here, right now, right where you are. There's no better moment than right now. We're together and I'm so grateful. And I am just flying because I got to teach. Dr. Jeff normally teaches the New Heart After Grow, After Glow class. And I got to substitute teach for him today. And it's so wonderful to be, in this rhythm, right, with everybody. Seeing how all the people here right now are where they're at. This is Thursday morning. If you remember from when you were at Rythmia Thursday morning, about 50% of the people have merged with their souls, healed their hearts, and forgiven the unforgivable. They've seen some aspect of themselves that they hadn't seen before and have done this shadow work. That's what this talk is about today, is shadow work. It ain't necessarily so. But right now, this morning, there's a lot of ups and downs. Like half of the people are like, oh my God, I got it. I see it. It's amazing. I'm wonderful. Life is good, right? And then there's a 50% of the people are like, I don't know what you're talking about because I ain't getting it, right? But tonight, another 40% of people will merge with their soul. They'll have a soul merger. They'll be reborn into a new way of being, a new way of seeing that completely changes life because we're living from a place of being whole. It doesn't mean you have to change, right? It means that the way you see life changes and then everything else automatically harmonizes. So that is, oh man, it's so beautiful here. And I can't wait till tomorrow morning, because tomorrow morning is when you walk in and there's just this palpable feeling of love, a palpable feeling of peace. It's all coming. Hey, Dorota. Hey, Dennis. Good to see you. Shelly. Hello. Karen. Hello. Thank you. I love it when you guys say hello and let me know where you're calling from or viewing from. So please keep those little hellos coming. Michael Stewart, greetings from Northern Michigan. Hello, my friend. And Benny, hey, good to see you. Benny was here last week. Welcome back, Benny. So glad you're here. And Peter, great to see you from Canada. Jean is calling from Washington. Thank you, guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. Lisa from Pennsylvania. Woohoo. So, okay, so Rythmia is on fire. People here are just opening up, expanding, seeing some new aspect of themselves and stepping into a new way of being. So what I wanted to talk today to you about is it ain't necessarily so. Do you remember that old George Gershwin? It's from a musical. I think it's from Porgy and Bess. It isn't necessarily so. It isn't necessarily so, right? So what we see isn't necessarily real. What we're experiencing isn't necessarily real. Why? Because what's real is true, enduring, elegant, intelligent, and unchanging, right? That's what's real. What is unreal is anything that changes, anything that's ephemeral. Hey, Maria. Hey, Lisa said, get your groove on. I got my groove on. So when we look at life, the intention of this talk is to bring in, this idea that when things seem bad, that's really good. When what we think is bad is good, and what we think is good is bad. This is what Carl Jung called, I gotta read this because I can never get it right. Enantiodromia is what Carl Jung called the union of opposites. And when he's talking about is, it's like equilibrium. In our conscious life, we tend to first begin to identify with our ego and our egoic needs. And so what's good is I'm defending myself, I'm positioning, I'm strategizing, I'm withholding, I'm keeping myself protected, right? That's good. And that serves us for a while. But there's a unconscious underpinning of an equal and opposite force. So we think our egoic life is actually protecting us. We think that our egoic structures and boundaries are good, right? No, I wouldn't let somebody do that. I got to do this. All of those aspects, right? Now, when the union of opposites occurs, we begin to see that those egoic structures that used to serve us are no longer serving. That protecting ourselves and strategizing and positioning and withholding and all of those mechanisms that we use to defend ourselves aren't really working. The coping mechanisms that we've used in the past aren't working. And so things begin to seem like they're out of balance. So we have this tendency in life to swing over one way. In our conscious life, we're really dependent on our egoic life, and that's been serving us. And then we have something happens. We get pushed by pain. We get pulled by a vision, as Reverend Michael says. It's a beautiful, I want to acknowledge him because that's such a clear pushed by pain or pulled by a vision. Something happens and the pendulum swings the other way. And this is the union of opposites, because as we swing the other way, we begin to work on the shadow side, the parts of ourselves that we've been wanting to cut out for so long, the parts of ourselves that we don't think we should be. I shouldn't be that way. I should be more loving. I shouldn't be this way. I should eat better. I should do this. I should be smarter. I should be all of the things that we think we should be, right? We swing back and, oh, I need to correct this. So we swing to the other way. Now we start to work on the shadow elements of our lives. Right. And we begin to see that what we thought was our arch enemy, the demon, the arch enemy of the ego, is actually, and that looks bad, like that's trying to hurt me. That's trying to get right now. It swings the other side. And we see that the very thing that was the enemy of the ego is actually pushing us towards expansion and growth. That's why it's important. That's what we do here at Rythmia, is we begin to see who we've become. Show me who I've become. That's our first intention. Show me who I've become. And who I've become isn't bad, but the egoic structures that supported that aren't serving us any longer. So then we get to see, now we get to work with the other, so show me who I've become is something happened to me in my early childhood life, between the ages of, in the womb to like 5 or 6, something happened. Now, children are very egocentric, and that's the way it should be, right? We're children and everything revolves around us. So if I'm a child and everything revolves around me and I don't get to play Monopoly with my brothers and sisters because I'm too young, or I didn't get held on time, or I didn't get fed on time, then I say, or I didn't get care and concern when I needed it. Or it could be something really traumatic, like I was abused. Anything along that spectrum, it doesn't matter. Something happens, and I say, because I'm an egocentric child, that whatever happened must be my fault. If I didn't get held on time, or if I couldn't play Monopoly, or if I was abused, well, obviously I wasn't enough. Now, we don't consciously say that, but the mechanism is who I was being wasn't good. Wasn't enough. I have to project out and become something else, because that's the way that I get my needs met. So I become the child that wants to do everything right? Oh, well, if I just do everything right, then they'll accept me. If I'm just funny enough, if I'm just smart enough, if I'm just pretty enough, if I'm just whatever I need to be, if I'm heroic, if I'm a do-gooder, if I'm smart, whatever, then I'll get my needs met. Then I'll get what I want. I'll be included. I'll feel like I belong. So we project out this idea of who we think we need to be. That's the split. And from that split, then we live this lie that we think we need to be this person. Now, trauma isn't what happened. It's the story we tell ourselves about what happened. So I didn't get to play Monopoly with my kids, with my brothers and sisters, because I was too young. I told myself I didn't belong. So So then what do I, so the coping mechanisms are what I do in order to not feel like I don't belong. That's who I've become. And now that looks like it's good. That's the egoic structure that I've now developed that says, oh, well, what's good is who I need to be to get my needs met. So now I'm living this projected self, right? And that's my conscious life. Unconsciously, I'm doing it because I think I need to get my needs met. Consciously, I'm just being me, right? And then stuff starts to happen. I'm not satisfied with life. Things don't, things don't really excite me like they used to. Or I used to like going and hanging out with these folks and I don't. I used to like playing this game and I don't. Or, this is my 5th relationship or my 5th job. And every job I get, there's always backstabbers. There's always somebody out to get me. Everybody I'm in a relationship with, why do I pick the wrong guy or the wrong girl? They're always trying to take my money or take advantage of me or cheat on me. It's always the same, right? We start to see these patterns and we realize who we're being isn't getting our needs met anymore. So that's when we begin to swing to the other side and start to do this shadow work. When we begin to explore who it is that I've become. Now, for me, who I became was whatever you need me to be so that I can feel like I belong. So I became funny, I became smart. I have the person with the right, I knew this about ancient Greece, or I knew this, or I know this joke, or let me tell you this story, or let me be helpful. That was another big thing for me. If I could just be helpful, then they'll like me. If I can be helpful, then I'll belong. Let me help. So then my boundaries are kind of blurred and I get into codependent relationships because whatever I need to do to be helpful or to be funny or to be smart to make sure that I get the feedback of acknowledgement so that you accept me. So what I thought was good, being helpful, being funny, being smart, actually was a projected self, and it was underwritten by a codependent need to belong and to feel enough, to feel like I'm enough by your feedback and your acknowledgement. You laughing at me, you telling me that I'm good, you telling me that I did a good job, then I belong, right? So that's the beginning of our egoic structure, that then we get to see that really isn't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so, that's what's good. And actually, it's actually bad. I'm living a lie, right? And now I do the shadow work. I look at all those parts of myself that I didn't want to look at, the parts that are scared because I don't feel like I belong, the parts that feel like I'm not enough, all of those parts, I get to look at those now and I used to think those were bad. I shut them away. Oh, feeling that way is bad. So now I was over here, my egoic structures, the mechanisms that I use to cope and feel like I belong. Now I swing over to the other side and I see what I thought was bad, feeling alone, feeling like I don't belong, feeling unwanted. That was the arch enemy of my egoic structure. That's actually good. I need to go into those feelings. I need to experience those so that I can harmonize them, because there's not one part of me, there's not one part of you that does not deserve to be loved and appreciated, that isn't worthy. There's not one part of you, even the part that you think is bad, even the part that you want to cut out, the part that eats too much or smokes too much or drinks too much or isn't kind or has anger issues or all of that. Those are what we thought were the enemy. And we were building up this egoic structure, so we didn't do those things, but it didn't really work. Now we swing to the other side, and the union of opposites, now we come to see that those things are actually serving us. The pain that they're causing actually pushes us to expand and grow. And then, like a pendulum, right? The pendulum swings. The union of opposites is the equal reaction until, like all systems, we come to balance. So the Jungian idea of, I got to look at it again, enantiodromia, the Jungian idea of enantiodromia is that all systems are seeking homeostasis. All physical and biological systems want to come to balance. So if I'm over here all on one side of my egoic life, it's not working, I start to look at the shadow side, I start to do that work of examining the things that I wasn't wanting to feel, hear, think, or know about myself. And then I can come back as I swing back and forth between those two poles, finally coming to a place of equilibrium. Now I'm merged, I'm whole, I'm complete. I can now I don't have to get rid of either of those sides. I've harmonized myself with the things that I thought were bad, the anger issues, the sadness, the loneliness, the anxiety, the fear, the doubt, the worry, the not enoughness, the limiting beliefs. I've harmonized those, and I get to still be me. I get to still be JJ, who's funny and intelligent and helpful and has a good story right when you need it. Yeah, I can still be all those things, but now it's no longer underwritten by a need to belong. Like, oh, do you like me? Oh, because people feel that, right? People feel that. It's not spoken, but it's felt. People can feel that neediness. People can feel that, like, this is kind of with, I don't want to be around that. So it ain't necessarily so. Who you think you are, what you think the situation is, don't get caught up in appearances, because we all get to a place to where we thought what was bad is good and what we thought was good is bad. And then we come into a balance and we harmonize all of those disparate parts of ourselves and come back to a place of wholeness so that we can move forward in life and be a beneficial presence to participate in the shift that's occurring. That's why we say, if you want to heal your family, heal yourself. If you want to heal the political system, heal yourself. If you want to heal the world, heal yourself. Starts here. And then we can actually participate in the shift, because I'm not operating from an egoic structure that says, I have to save the world in order to be good. Oh my God. I'm now interested in participating in a conscious community that is looking towards a world that is for the best and highest individual and collective good. Let's look at some of the comments that we've gotten. Rachel, hello. Milor, hello from Puerto Rico. Miriam, we need to talk. This little light, hello, blessings. Cynthia, thank you so much for that. Cynthia says you nailed it on the head, Dorota. I need to give to be loved. That's the thought. And the fact is, you're worthy of love just as you are. Dorota, you do so many beautiful things in the world. I see your Facebook post with your kids. You're awesome. Benny, thank you. Shelly, Kathleen L. Hello, Kathleen. Save ourselves and save the world. Yes, indeed. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for commenting. Thank you for watching. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. Life is good, even when it doesn't appear to be. It ain't necessarily so. Just say it. Whatever it is, whatever's going on, it ain't necessarily so. Don't get caught up in appearances, because that's not real. What's real is you, the center of your being, not your body, not your thoughts, not your emotions. Those all change. But there's something about you that's real and true and enduring and unchanging. It's elegant. It's creative. It's beautiful. It's joyful. That's what's real. That's who you are. That's who I am. Let's go be that. Let's go be about it. All right. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much.